new video game that's set to come out on December 14th is called The Slaying of Sandy Hook Elementary. Yes, you heard me correctly. There's a video game that is solely based on pretending you're Adam Lanza, going into Sandy Hook Elementary and slaughtering children. Wow. So it's a game that, quote, directs gamers to storm virtual classrooms with an AR-15 assault rifle in the same vein as Adam Lanza and displays a kill ratio at the end. Not surprisingly, people are outraged by this. Donna Soto, whose daughter died while shielding students from gunfire in Sandy Hook. I mean, how, oh God, that tears you up inside. Said, quote, "It's absolutely disgusting that somebody thinks this is funny. We're all suffering. All the families are suffering." And apparently the site where the game first appeared they've pulled the game from there. And the local news station that broke the story has declined to name the site. But here's the twist in the story. National Review Online, which you should take this with a gigantic grain of salt because it's a right-wing outlet, self-described, yada yada. They claim that, quote, "The game appears to have a pro-gun control message, noting that the game's credits urge players to contact lawmakers and urge them to pass gun control measures." What? Why would that? I don't understand why that would be, an outlet by which you argue for increased gun control. Nobody's going to want to buy your video game. Nobody's going to like you for making it, so nobody will play it. But even if they do play it, they're obviously sick, fairly messed up people. Look, I get it. Call of Duty, nothing wrong with that. Rainbow Six, nothing wrong with that. Most shooter games, nothing wrong with that. But killing children and mimicking Sandy Hook, yes, there's an issue with that. I'm not saying you ban it and censor it. We live in a free society. People can make whatever fucking video game they want. But that is kind of gross that you made it. You're kind of a douchebag. And again, if the credits say it at the end, is anybody even going to make it to look at the credits? And who's going to, if anything, here's the irony of this. To argue for increased gun control in a video game that nobody likes, it's almost like you don't even realize it, but you're not arguing for gun control, you're helping out the idiots who argue for video game control. Video games have been used as a massive scapegoat on the issue of the over 300 million guns in circulation in the US. And instead of people focusing on the actual problem, which is the availability of guns, don't take my word for it, take the Harvard study on this that says more guns equals more gun deaths. Instead of having people focus on that, now they're just going to focus on your shitty video game and say, oh, look at this. The problem, we knew it all along. The problem was that people were sitting there and playing too much PS3. No, that's not the problem. It's never been the problem. Again, don't take my word for it. Look at the studies done by the Australian government. They looked at it every which way possible. Even the U.S. Supreme Court looked at a case that was about regulating video games in California. It got to the Supreme Court. Even the conservative justices said the state can't rationalize legislating against these video games because there's no evidence that video games leads to actual violence. So in a weird way, they're actually hurting the cause of gun control and they're helping the cause of video game control, which nobody should be in favor of anyway.